Podcast P fam, what's good? Before we get to the full episode, we had to do an instant check-in with you guys. Listen, we got the big Harden 4-point play to finally give us a win. The big lineup change. So, we're going to get right into it.
So, Pete, we're going to start off. First off, we're going to talk about Russ then. Okay, I want to know, with Russ making that big step that he did, what does this say about Russell as a teammate? You understand what I'm saying? Let me know. Is he an underrated leader? Give me that.
Man, underrated leader is underrated. I mean, dog, you talk about, like, he was the heart and soul for us last year, right?
Right.
Energy, leader, and I think Clipper Nation just came to love what he brought to the team. For us to go through this stretch of not winning and not, knowing how to win with this squad yet, for him to take the initiative to be like, you know what, I'll sacrifice and I'll try to make this work and come off the bench. It just says a lot about him, bro. Like, and he never ceased to amaze me as long as I've played on the same teams with him, as much as I've known him. Every day it's like something new. Like, and just shout out to him, man. I know that's not an easy decision to make, especially when you still have so much game and your value to this league.
Right.
And just to us, for him to be in that mindset of like team first and whatever I got to do. I mean, you've seen signs of it from him taking less to come and stay here to now,
It's like he's doing everything to make everything happen to get a championship.
To win here in L.A.
And
like he's literally whatever it takes to win
dope.
in L.A. He's all about that. So,
I love
man,
that.
shout out
Shout out to Russ.
Shout out Beto.
Yeah, let's talk about that last play, though. So James, he comes to the team. You guys are in a little bit of a slump, and he hits that game winner. But I do want to talk about the specific play because I thought it was interesting looking at it. It looked like Kawhi was going to shoot it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, in my mind, one of the questions is who's going to shoot that last shot? Is it going to be you? Is it going to be James, Russ, or Kawhi? And Kawhi made the right play. He tried to get to his move. It wasn't open, and he passed it to James. And so talk just a little bit about the play. He hits the game winner and won. I'm sure the vibes in the locker room had to be just crazy. Not only did he hit the game winner, P, but he also gets shouted out in Drake's new Scary Hours that just released. So let's just talk about the locker room vibe after.
There you go.
James has got to be feeling good.
Yeah, vibes was definitely high. It was definitely the monkey off our back, and with that, like, you get one win. Now, like, the expectation changed, the energy changed, that attitude going into games changed. Like, you feel like you're going to win now. Like, we finally figured out how we're doing. We were getting better. Now we finally got over the hump. And so now we know what that feels like. But going through that play, like, Kawhi obviously, made the play. And I read his comment after of like, James is a top 75 player all time.
Right.
So we're in good hands. And I think that's what's the beauty about this team. Like, we can all pass up a shot and the ball will still be in someone's hands that
can
is
shoot
clutch,
that.
can make the play, can finish, can, win us a game, like, regardless of who has it in their hands. And I think it was just like the moment, like the timing of it. We haven't won a game since we got him. Now he's the one that wins us the game.
I think it was something in that area. Because you shot the same thing at the end of the halftime, and did your thing in that same spot. I said, there's something about that spot. It's hot.
It might be. He did make it at the.
He made it the same spot you made yours right before the half. I was like, that's
I
the
talked
spot.
to Olivia and I was like, I'm talking to her. I'm like, what was your favorite parts of the game? And she was like, your game winner. And then that last shot at the end, or not my game winner, but she said your buzzer beater. And then that last shot at the end of the game. I mean, shout out JH, man. That was big time. That was like his patent shit.
Mm-hmm. And it was a foul.
Step back. Yeah, it was a
came
foul.
underneath the space, and that play stuck out to me just from you guys gelling. I think it's important to trust one another, but you had my favorite play of the game, and you passed the ball, but it was in the first half. You're going to remember this. You had an open shot, but you made the extra pass to Kawhi. Kawhi was not really in the game quite yet, and he knocked down the three, and then after that, it got Kawhi going. You were already going, so I think that's going to be important for you guys just to understand, like, hey, we got to make the right play here, and we can all get the ball and go score, but let's make the right play.
I knew y'all was going to win that game, too. When James Harden got that and one, and he did that. And I said,
which one?
He did some
like
little,
this, and he was like,
the dance was all
Oh, yeah.
I said they gonna win
half.
this.
Yeah.
And I said, with me being a Clipper fan, you know, I'm like, this is good for me today.
Now he a Clipper.
You know,
Mr. Uno.
You know,
Mr. Uno.
I'm
I
a
gotta talk
Clipper
to
fan.
him. I'm thinking
Need a
about
Uno
maybe.
chain?
I'm just, if he has some extra ones laying around, I'll take it.
So yeah, man, hell of a game. Vibes was crazy, but we want to keep it authentic here on Podcast Piece. So let's just get back to the rest of the episode. Welcome back to another episode of Podcast P, presented to you by Prize Picks, a Wave Sports and Entertainment original. I'm your host, PG-13, and I got my guys with me, Dallas Rutherford and Jackie Long. Never do you wrong. I had to throw that in there for you.
like that one.
What's up, my guys, man? It's been a minute since we've been together. The trio.
Yeah.
A lot has been going on.
I get sad when I'm like, it feels like it's been a while since we've done one of these.
It's been a
like
minute.
Every time it's like, man, it's been a minute.
No, I
Like,
miss it.
I
You know, as much
the
as
crew.
I appreciate and enjoy the guests coming on the show, like it is always cool to just, you know, take it back to where it starts, you know, the originals.
Our last one was the great Lou Will.
The great Lou Will.
Come on, we still got that
Lou
vibe
was
here
great.
with us
Yeah,
right
Lou was
now.
great.
Lou was great. Lou was
Lou was
awesome.
so chill.
He is. He is.
So chill.
He was an
Great.
awesome person to interview, and like, you know, I played with Lou, so it was, you know, it was different, but just to have him here and, you know, kind of just let him talk about certain stuff, it was just cool to relate to him on that level.
He gave tequila to Kobe. That was the best one.
That was the best line right there.
Yeah, that was the one. Tequila to Kobe. How he gave Kobe the tequila. I would have said that I did something like that and take that to heart too forever. I gave Kobe Bryant tequila on the plane out of everybody.
Yeah,
That was a dope one.
that was love right there.
Best story by far. All right, guys, we're going to take a brief break from the episode to remind you that Prize Picks has got you covered when it comes to making some money.
That's right. With the NBA season here, Prize Picks is helping us cash in, baby. Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app, and with the new NBA season here, you can select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and turn $25 into $250, baby. Prize Picks is really simple to play. Hey, I can make my picks and submit my entry less than 10 seconds.
It's also that time of the year where many sports are happening at the same time. And of course, Prize Picks allows you to pick combo projections across football and basketball with specials so you can support all your teams while still cashing in.
I know for me, I'll be cashing in. But look, I don't know about you, but we'll talk about that another time. Just be sure to visit prizepicks.com/podcastp and use code podcastp for a first deposit matchup, $100, baby. Cha-ching! Now back to the show.
So let's update, Dal. Let's catch up. What's been going on?
Just been working, doing my mortgage thing. One thing I have never done on this show is I don't think people know that I'm a loan officer. And I was like, you know what, today I'm going to plug myself a little bit. So if you're looking to buy or refinance, reach
Talk
out
your
to your
shit,
boy.
Dallas.
Okay.
If you're an agent looking for a loan officer, give
Talk
me a
your
ring.
shit.
And if you're a loan officer that wants to come work on Podcast P loan team, reach
Talk
out
your
to me.
shit.
So, you know, I just thought I'd
love it.
throw that out there.
I
Just,
love it.
you know,
I love it. And this is like, there's no shot at Roan at this point. Like,
No shot at. Wait, who?
Bunky, strike is over. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, strike is very it's still tentative, they say. So,
Okay.
you know, but it's
not all the way.
It's not all the way over, but it's kind of over. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like we can, you know, it gives time people to you know, get the scripts ready.
Okay.
You know, get the cast that they want involved. You know, my agent already done talked to me. He said
Okay.
there's some things. So if I so happen to miss a few episodes, everybody, y'all know why. Just telling you. But strike is, I'm glad that it is where it's at right now. So if you understand is that everybody is getting together and, you know, we'll be back to work. But I think alone, I'm about to go back on strike again.
Mm-hmm.
But that's with the
Alone?
Clippers. Yeah. I'm still there with y'all. But I just think I'm about to go back on strike with them because I know that's my favorite team. But I think
No, you only get one chance.
Dude, I haven't went on strike yet. I just
You
say
only get one chance. Once
I think I want to head there.
Once you cross that line, there's no coming back.
But I already crossed the line. I don't know. I should have crossed. You know, it's getting there, P.
Hey,
it's getting me.
You've been a Cowboys fan. You've been a Cowboys fan for a long time. They ain't won in a minute.
I'm just saying. You got a point.
I'm just saying.
You got a point, but it's just. I just make this crossover. It's a lot. I look bad. I look bad. I'm just saying, but I love you. But just between me and you and the Clippers as association, if I, as a fan, go on strike, just know why. But I'm there with y'all until any other, as y'all proceed. As soon as the playoffs come, y'all in there, hey, I might be back. But I'm just gonna be on strike for a minute.
Okay.
But I ain't on it yet.
Where are you going then?
I don't want to tell you where I'm going. But I'm gonna just say I'm on strike, and I just wish y'all get y'all shit together.
Okay.
Get y'all shit together.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
So, P, how have things been with you and the team? Obviously, these last couple of weeks, there's been some challenges and a lot of adversity since the James trade. And we're shooting this episode right after a tough loss out in Denver. But just mentally, describe where you're at and just kind of where the team's at as a whole.
Speaking for myself, I mean, obviously frustrated. Losing 6 games, and especially with the talent, the guys we have in the locker room, it's frustrating. Can't sugarcoat that. As much as we're positive and we're optimistic and we truly believe it'll work, you still, no one likes losing. No one likes being out there competing and giving everything you can and coming up with a loss. So that part, I think, is it gets to you. But the beauty in this team, honestly, is we're enjoying this process. I think that's what separates, and the reason why, we're not boiling over and not, shaking the locker room up. We honestly enjoy trying to figure this out, because we understand and we realize the big picture of what this will be if all 4 of us can pull this off and bring this together and do something special. So, and we believe it's going to happen. We're going to figure this out at some point, and I thought that Denver game was the best that we've looked and the best that we've played, and we had spurts and stretches of dominating or having, what this team, the reason this team was assembled. I thought we showed a glimpse of what it looks like when it works. So that was the positive in it. But I mean, losing it's tough, bro. It's definitely frustrating losing.
Yeah, we know because you're the competitor.
Yeah,
you don't play that when it comes to
hate
losing. Since I know. Yeah, you will compete in anything and just tying your shoelaces, real talk.
Gotta be the first.
I'm just being real. So I know how you feel right now, P, and I feel sorry for you right now. But I think as a team, I think y'all gonna get it together. I really think it's too much talent, too many smart basketball players on that team that know basketball, that all y'all can go coach a team right now. No matter, I'm just being real.
Right.
Y'all know basketball. Yes, a baby don't come out the womb knowing how to walk right away. They crawl. Y'all got to crawl to get this team together. And then once y'all get to walking, it's going to be walking over everybody. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just got to get your time. Once you say get y'all rhythm routine, it's going to be, like I say, lead me to my next question. An 82-game season is all about rhythm and routine. Okay, how have y'all looked to create that on the fly with such a new squad? Like what's the convos amongst you guys, P?
I mean, it's more so just like an ongoing dialogue between each other of all right, how can I make the game easier for you? How can I help you? How can, what are you seeing out there? And again, I thought we made big jumps going into that Denver game that it was just constant. We was constantly just talking through stuff what do you see? This is how they guard you. This is how, this is, defensively, this is, what we should do. This person is not as good shooter. Let's not rotate. We were doing things like that throughout the game that I thought we were like finally on the same page with everything. We were clicking. You know, granted, everybody, it might be nights where some guys are struggling offensively and shots aren't falling.
Right.
That's just basketball.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's gonna happen, you know, probably majority of the games. Like not all four of us are gonna be hot, you know.
Exactly.
But what I did like was I thought that we were just all on the same page on trying to figure out and constant talking to each other, and that was the good part about it. But yeah, I mean, you know, I made a statement after the Dallas loss because I went into the game like, you know, after losing, it's nothing about lose or gaining James. Like that James is going to help us,
Right.
but it did hurt losing. Rocco and Batum. Because those were our glue guys. Like those were our guys that, like, you know, they don't need the ball. They'll go guard. They'll go rebound. They'll go sacrifice their bodies. They'll go take a charge. Like those were the guys that would do all their little dirty stuff. And so going into that Dallas game, obviously it's a two-headed monster, right? With Luka and Kai. I usually have, you know, that primary matchup of guarding the best player or one of the best player in that situation. It was Kai. So I'm going into the game, I'm like, all right, let me take the approach of like being that for this team tonight. Like I got Kai, let me save the energy for defensively to just hone in on him, sacrifice the offensive side, you know, because the whole thing about it is being, you know, sacrificing for the better of the team, right?
Right.
So going into it, that was just the approach. But with that, it kind of put me into a passive mindset, right? Like I didn't feel myself offensively. Like I was, you know, delayed. I was second guessing. I was, you know, surveying the floor more than I needed to, and just was passive offensively. You know, it didn't work out. Obviously, offensively, they was on fire.
Right.
You know,
Bro.
they got hot. They made everything. Luka was phenomenal that night, and so it kind of backfired with the approach. But I was going into it, you know, team first mindset of like, all right, somebody will pick up the offensive load.
Right.
Let me just focus on trying to do everything else to help us win this game. Because at that point, we weren't winning. We weren't rebounding. We weren't defending at a high enough level. Yeah, that was that mindset there. But I think that's just at certain points of the season, that's how it's going to be. Like someone is going to have to take, you know,
that role.
A different role on a different night, you know, basis.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever, because I mean, it looked like what I like to call, it looks like you were just like floating around the court. Like it was awkward kind of just to watch you do that. And I kind of, when I was watching, I was like, what is he doing? And then when you said that after, I'm like, all right, like, you know, you do have James and you want him to feel comfortable. I mean, I would think if I'm a teammate, I get somebody like James over, you want that guy to feel as comfortable as soon as possible. The sooner the better. But I want to know, like, talk about like the transition to that Denver game. So you have that game where you're kind of just floating around, and then you get to that Denver game and you look like a completely different player. You're attacking. That would be more along the lines of the bully ball when you're driving. You could just tell you were making it a point to attack the rim. If you get a call, great. But talk about that mindset, because it's kind of got to be tough to do. You go from that to that, and I think as Clipper fans, we're looking at it like, bro, like we need him to do this, you know, every time. And even in that first game, it's not like you weren't even shooting. It felt like you were just floating around. So talk about the transition.
After that game, I was talking to the media after that Dallas game, and I told them like, all right, I'll never do that. Like I'll never have this approach again. Just because I honestly didn't feel like myself. Now, after that game, it was immediately like, all right, I got to get back to like just that aggression. Like, go try to dominate, go try to be the best player on the floor, the best version of myself. So just going into that game, it was just, you know, being confident in what I do, and just having a relentless approach. Like, just be relentless tonight. Like, put pressure on the refs, put pressure at the rim, go finish, go look for my shots, and look to dominate. Like, go dominate. Like, that was just my mindset that game, and was my mindset, you know, before the trade, and everything else was just to go out there and just try to go dominate. So that was just the mindset going into the game, and the mindset I got to keep going forward, and everything I think will fall in place. Like, we'll fall in place. Like I said, I thought we made huge strides that Denver game of you know what we could look like, there's still things rewatching the tape, watching moments throughout the game where I think like now, all right, this is where I could make an extra pass, an extra play. Like now dissecting the game based off of moments that I had throughout that game that like, oh, okay, we could have a better possession right here, better possession right there. Like now starting to pick apart a game like that. But I'm right where I want to be mentally right now.
I see you right where you want to be. You averaging the game every game, every game. Every game.
I'm averaging the game.
No, you averaging your 29 or what was it, 23? What was it, 20?
You on Prize Picks? What is it?
Well, you know, you've been doing good.
Yeah. Me and Jackie have been cha-chinging, to say the least.
You've been good for me, doing good for me on Prize Picks too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I like to get you for points, rebounds, and assists. You dig? They should have fouls in your shit soon.
Fouls too?
Like hell yeah.
What you going over?
I'll be PB out there.
You mentioned it, like it was the best basketball that you guys have played as a group. And so just kind of seeing the potential of what you guys could be, you know, what are you most excited about that you learned from that game moving forward with that roster that you have?
It's going to be so tough to match up with us and guard us. Like, I think the more we're starting to realize that, like, even us having a dialogue, we played Memphis. We was having that dialogue, like, man, like James, they started out with the little guy, Gilliard. No knock on him in, you know, on a personal level, but smallest guy on the court, like, we should have took advantage of that right away. Like, all right, he's got Gilliard, we're going to play through James. James, you're going to be the offense tonight.
Right.
Like, we had that approach, and I think that's what's going to make us so tough is that, like, when you look at that, like, it's not four great defenders on the team that can all be on the floor at the same time, right? Like, there's going to be some lack of shooting if you got, you know, four defenders on there. One of them can't shoot that well, like, so they're not going to put them on the floor. Like, so it's just going to be tough to match up with us going forward. And I think that's what's going to, like, you know, that's when we're going to realize, like, and be comfortable we'll be comfortable in our roles, understanding, all right, you got this guy, he's on you, punish him, you know, make the offense for us, create the offense. And then now we'll play off of that rhythm. So I think that's what, you know, I think going forward is where we'll be in a good place.
What moment of the game did you catch your second wind? Because the whole time I was watching, I was like, bro, I was like trying to like see, like, okay, now they're like, did you feel it? Hey, in Denver.
You know what's crazy? For the first time playing in Denver, I didn't have that like shortness, like you know, because that altitude is a beast. And for the first time playing there, I didn't like reach that point of like my heart jumping out of my chest. It was the weirdest feeling, like, because I was expecting it, like, all right, at some point I'm about to be super gassed.
About to get tired.
Yeah, and it just never happened. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and I just felt good. Like, I felt like I've been playing in Denver for a long time. Like, that's how my chest and my wind felt. So I was low key surprised. It threw me off. Like,
I was trying to like look like you seemed pretty fresh. So I'm like, is he gonna slow down here? Or when is it gonna hit him right here?
I felt good. Great. Felt good. All right, so we got to talk about it. We recently saw what happened with Draymond in the chokehold.
Man,
right? It just been a lot of tension around the league. We saw AD in Memphis get into it. Obviously, the Warriors and Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Like what? Like, yo, it seems like
we got a lot of podcast Association cast members that's getting into it.
It is, ain't it?
We got what? Clay, Draymond. Who was the other one? We said who was the other?
It was AD
the guy that got into it with Clay was McDaniels, who we've done on rated PG.
Hey, what's okay?
There's a lot going on, and I think. I don't think it was the in-season tournament. I don't know. It's just been a heightened.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of
good energy.
Good energy. I think the
everybody wants that 500. They want that 500.
They definitely do.
But where in the history of basketball, a minute and 30 seconds in the game,
right? 0-0,
and you. What?
Yeah.
What was that all about?
That play was crazy. That play was crazy.
I still don't understand. I seen Clay, I don't know if his hand hit the dude neck when he was boxing him out or he hit his chest. I
Yeah.
don't know. I have to watch it.
It looked like all right. So Clay boxing him out, right? But it looked like if I'm doing a scout, I haven't watched a ton of Minnesota games, but like say in a certain situation, all right, McDaniels is a crash the rim guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it looked like Clay had the approach of like, all right, nah, you're not
gotta
crashing.
find a body.
Yeah, find a body. He might have gave him a little shook, so
Right,
Clay
right. And that
grabbed
made
the
him-
little jersey.
That made him boom. Get
Yeah,
mad.
like hold up, you're not crashing on this one. Youngin didn't like it. Get your hands off me.
Then the grab came.
And then that's when you do that, like, hold on, what you doing? You all right? You good?
Right.
You know what I mean? Check the temperature a little bit. Like, you good? You straight? Like,
He almost threw him.
Get your hands off me.
Yeah.
I can't believe no one fell. I was
so happy nobody fell.
the balance
Yeah.
on both of
On
their
both of
parts.
them.
It
They
was
just
like
swinging, like,
But,
like whoa,
but
someone's
what I don't get after all of that is two people I didn't get right away.
yeah. Who?
Okay, they
And we
doing their
forgot
thing.
Cat. Cat
Yeah,
is a part
Cat-
of the cast
Cat
as
was
well.
in
Cat
there.
didn't do a motherfucking thing.
yeah, that's the
Cat was this. What? He right next to Draymond where he could have did this to Draymond.
Yeah.
He could have gave Draymond back.
Yeah.
He just did this.
I get, all right, so in defense to
He choking your
Draymond.
mans out.
In defense to Draymond in that moment, right? It's if I'm Draymond and I'm watching what's going on, the cardinal rule is like two players get into it, go check your teammate. Like go grab your teammate. Don't grab my teammate. Like what fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
Like, don't wrap your arms around my teammate. Right? Say a scuffle dude goes down and dudes start throwing punches and you wrapping me up and I can't defend myself. Like go calm your teammate out.
See, Draymond seemed like I don't like you.
That
I
might
ain't never
have been.
liked you.
Hey, I can't speak for
Because the
another
way
man.
it was under.
and he had to.
It was UFC.
Yeah.
It was about to be a countdown.
He
was
had
talking to him, bro.
He was literally like, motherfucker, fuck you, Gobert. I'll beat the motherfucking ass.
Hey, he was Rudy.
It was all.
Little Rudy.
It was literally Rudy. It was
Little
like
Rudy.
It was like as tall as he was.
He
He was
jollied
just,
them, didn't he?
dude.
He Melvined them.
I tell you, he definitely gonna go down in
Rudy.
history as
Lil Rudy.
the biggest highlights of altercations
Yeah.
in NBA. I don't care. He's going down as the greatest. And
Do y'all think the 5-game suspension was?
I love
Yes.
Draymond.
Yeah, I
He's
think
my
that's
family,
fair.
but I think it's fair.
It's
Yeah.
fair.
I think it's fair because he's at a point in the age now where he needs to stop doing that shit. It's
Yeah.
just real. I'm just being honest. Draymond make too much money, and I love him. He got game. He's a smart man, and he knows at the end of the day what can happen if
Yeah.
you do something.
He might have took it too far. But
Yeah, I just think it's-
again, I understand the action behind it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he could have grabbed him from the waist. He could have grabbed him, like, bear hugged him.
Yeah.
Like, yo, get your go check your teammate.
Yeah.
So the choke out.
And it was aggressively,
and we got to
like-
hear from Rudy. Like,
Yeah,
Rudy
right.
could have been like, he didn't really choke me that hard. Like,
Right,
you know what I
right,
mean?
right.
We could have just, he
And
just had my neck. Like,
Right.
we
And
don't
it-
know.
it looked
we don't
like
know
it.
how the severity of that chokehold.
He was
Right.
sitting there like just putting his hands up. I guess that's how you get out of like a rear naked chokehold. It's
Yeah.
like you're supposed to fall straight down. So I was wondering if he was like actually trying to get out of
What
it,
if he
or he
did
was
have
just.
like some UFC
But
shit?
but
like,
but
I ain't messing with.
now what you think
Nah,
about
bro.
though? Even though we still talking about that, but what about him and Anthony Edwards? That was
Yeah,
a funny
I
one
think
too.
the whole thing
At
was
that
a lot
moment.
of pin up, like because they just played each other, and him
Right.
and Draymond, Anthony Edwards and Draymond had some back and forth, and I kind of like the rivalry that's kind of
Yeah.
growing there.
You mad because I fouled you?
competing.
The hell you gonna do? Man, you mad because I fouled you? What he
ain't nobody worry about you, bro.
P, but would you say that's like one of the unwritten rules? Like if there's a scuffle or a fight, the teammate is you're responsible to
you're
go get your
responsible
teammate.
to go get your teammate. Like don't put your hands on my teammate. Like
Yeah.
if it's a scuffle, all right, go grab him. Like don't grab me. You know what I mean? Like that's an unwritten rule. Like and that's what I think that's what Draymond acted on. He saw and I thought it was overreacted a little bit. I didn't think Rudy like grabbed Clay
Yeah.
hard enough for that response to be, let me go, grab Rudy back. But when I wasn't in that moment, you know what I mean? I always put myself in people's shoes of why they react a certain way. And in that moment, I could see Draymond be like, hey, you ain't gonna like go check your teammate, not mine.
So if you see Reggie Jackson coming over and just has Kawhi in like a chokehold, what do you do?
Get off, bud. Get off, bud.
Did you see what Pat said? I know Pat is so funny, but he was basically just saying he was disappointed in Cat because him and Anthony Edwards were just kind of watching him and just kind of like, and I feel bad for Rudy because he kind of, I mean, not only did he get choked out, but now, you know, there's some speculation. What Pat was saying is like, man, look kind of like you don't got your teammates back.
Yeah.
Like if I'm Rudy now, I'm like, bro, like if you're Rudy and if you're getting choked out and none of your teammates really come over there to help you, like you're gonna be a little.
Like, are these guys riding?
You're gonna be thinking a little bit.
Yeah. No, I mean that's fair. But I mean, like, let's be honest. Like dudes ain't fighting in the league. Like if anywhere else,
Don't say that. Draymond fights.
anywhere,
Don't do that.
That wasn't a fight.
We see what he did.
He's down to fight. We know Draymond is down to fight, but in that situation, like guys aren't fighting on that stage.
Nah, you right.
You know what I mean? In an NBA game, that hasn't happened in a very long time. Where real punches were thrown, probably since
Ron Artest.
No.
Nah, probably since
Kobe.
the CP
Yep, Rondo.
Rondo situation. But even up to that point, I mean, guys haven't really been throwing hands like
Yeah, I
that.
forgot CP did put his eye all in his face and
Yeah,
Do
Rondo.
you think they'll have a conversation? Like, is it I wonder what that conversation is because they're gonna talk about it. Like, what does Cat say to Rudy? Like, bro, I didn't think he was choking you that bad, bro.
Yeah.
Like what are you? And then, bro, there's paintings of this image now.
Yeah.
Like, it's going crazy.
It's a monumental moment for sure. It's a monumental moment for
Draymond's
sure.
a fool, bro.
Draymond.
I loved it personally. I thought it because he was protecting his teammate,
protecting
and
his
you know
teammate.
how they're a
And
championship.
he's the enforcer. Like Draymond's the enforcer. You going forward, like I think we're talking about it from the Timberwolves standpoint, but from the Warriors standpoint, you like, all right, he riding for me.
got my
like,
back.
yeah, he's got my back. Like that's gonna up my aggression.
You
That's
know
gonna,
Clay.
That's
Hey,
gonna
hey,
up.
thanks,
yeah,
brother.
that's what I'm saying. That's gonna up everybody else's aggression. You know what I mean? Like knowing Draymond is the backbone. He's the enforcer. He's the protector. Like that's big bro. Like you got a problem with me, big bro. I felt that same way with D West, bro. Like no lie, it made like being a young guy, having an enforcer like that. It made me feel like a bully. Like, you know what I mean? Like
It makes you feel
it made me feel like a bully. Like now, like I know if I'm not like any confrontation, I'm not the only one that you got to have a problem with now.
So with that said, when you got a homie that you cool with,
Yeah.
he on your team,
Yeah.
or maybe the other team, how do the P handle that right there?
It's a thin line. It's a thin line, right?
Tell me, but you remember when you was in Indy
Yeah.
and your boy got into it.
And Lance was in that situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And your boy that you played with now was on that team too. PJ Tuck.
PJ, yeah.
Come on. Tell me what you do, P. How do you handle this type of stuff?
I mean, it's case by case. Like, at the end of the day, it's a thin line, right? Because you don't want to sacrifice getting ejected and then now, like, we just forfeiting a loss. You know what I mean? So it's a thin line, like, of being smart, but then, like, toting that line of, like, all right, making sure my teammate know I'm going to ride for him and I'm going to have his back at the same time. So, I mean, it's a tough situation. Like, that's a tough situation. Cat could have very well reacted a different way.
Yep.
Timberwolves, I believe, won that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did.
Cat could have acted a certain way. Now he's thrown out the game as well. Now Timberwolves get smacked that night. You know what I mean? And that was an in-season tournament game. You know what I mean? So like that's a big loss.
I seen Steph Curry he didn't play that game.
Steph didn't play that game, right?
He didn't even play, so that was good.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. Last situation, I mean, I think I was in that, scuffle to like, separate the two, make sure I grabbed Lance. We got Lance up out of there. Both sides parted, and we was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah,
But his
Lance,
was after the game.
Yeah,
I
like
believe.
you was still trying to do something though, P, a little bit. Like you were looking. Like I seen you.
I mean, I'm a ride. Like,
I
you know what I
see
mean?
you.
Lance and Clay are two different people. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Lance kind of like wants
The
that
Palmdale came out
confrontation.
the
Clay's
smoke.
just out there. Clay's not trying to play dirty or
Right.
do something that's going to provoke a fight or something like that.
Right.
But
And I'm sure Clay's statement will be like, I should have,
Man.
I should have been a big, took the bigger road or the higher road.
I messaged him because I wanted to have like, be
messaged
like
Clay?
a baby Shams or something like
Yeah.
that, like a baby
Drop a
Woj and
bomb.
drop a bomb today, but he didn't get back to me. So Clay, thanks for nothing. But one thing I did want to ask you, in the in-game tournaments, the points matter.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So
I didn't
did you
either.
see
That was new to
Joel
me.
when he shot that 3 at the end of the game and like the other team got upset with him? And at the end of the game, he was like, "You guys don't know the rules."
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know if that was true or not. So
Yeah.
that's why, like, now that end of the game, you're up 6 and you shoot a 3 still.
Yep.
You
all
gotta
of that
play
counts.
through.
All of that counts.
I like
Wins,
that.
losses, point differentials, like all of that. All of that
y'all
shit matters.
Playing the game and don't know what y'all playing for.
Well,
We know what we playing for, but I didn't know that the points.
there's like points matter. So
Yeah.
depending on how many points you score or margin of victory.
Because say you got the same record, right? Now they're going to base it off of your points, the margin that you've been winning by or that you've been losing by, based off the games y'all played.
And typically in the NBA, if you're up, the game's over, and you shoot a 3, and you're the team that's up at the end of the game while everyone's just chilling, it's kind of like another unwritten rule. It's like disrespectful in a sense, which doesn't really make much sense to me. So he shot it, and the team got mad at him, and he's like, "Bro, you guys got to read the rule book. Like,
Yeah.
all the points matter right here."
That's so dumb to me.
Wow.
People
He-
get
hey,
mad about
Gotta
that.
He
score
came
your
proper,
point.
too.
Okay, I'm glad y'all tell me because I didn't know what this in-season tournament is about.
That's a dumb rule to me as well. Like the unwritten rule of like not shooting or people getting mad about that. Like they really be like butthurt about that.
Yeah.
That's
It's
crazy.
It's just, yeah.
Like you mad about like okay, y'all you weren't mad the 47 and 54 seconds part of the game, but the last 6 seconds you like pissed off about. Like
Yeah, like let the homie get his
yeah,
stats. like,
let him put one up.
Besides the Draymond and Rudy situation, it was still a really good game, and Anthony Edwards played fantastic, and they've won, both of those games against Golden State. But Anthony Edwards won Western Conference Player of the Week, and just talk a little bit about what you've seen in his game, because he's been playing fantastic.
He's been playing great. First one of his career, and definitely will be many more for him in his future. I like what I saw from Ant-Man. He's taking that jump. He's taking it to the next level. He's a superstar. I know people haven't talked much about it from a superstar level, but I think it's safe to say and comfortable to put him in that superstar category now, because he's doing it. He's walking the walk. He's talking the talk, and he's carrying. And I think they gave him the keys, and that Timberwolves team understands that they're only going to go as far as he can take them. So he's been phenomenal, man. He's everything. He's been everything over there.
I think I know what it is. I know what it
Can
is.
you put your finger on?
Team USA. When he played this summer.
Mm-hmm.
And our other homie, Tyrese, he balling too.
He is
We got
balling.
Anthony
going
Edwards
stupid,
and Tyrese both played in the summer in the USA. Every time, I noticed this. Every time somebody play, they get better. They come out balling, doing all type of stuff. I'm going to ask you, P, because you done played in them before. Why every time somebody play in the US on the USA team, they come back in the season balling, yawling?
I think
They come back balling.
I think it's another level of confidence. Not only that you're playing against the best across the world, and you're on another platform in a bigger stage, but you're doing it playing with the best of the best in USA, with your peers. And
National.
when you become the alpha of that team, it only like that was the best of the best. And I thought Anthony Edwards was the best player on that Team USA team. And now, like, that was the best of his class. Now you're taking that confidence and you're taking that to your team. And other than Cat, there's nobody else on that level from a talent standpoint that matches Anthony Edwards.
Right.
So now his confidence is through the roof. Like, he did it on a big stage on USA. Now he's ready. Like, I'm ready to lead my own team.
He got his shoe now.
He got his shoe now, and I love the he had the commercial pulling
I love
everybody's shoes out. Like, nope, these ain't it. Nope, these ain't it. nope, these ain't it. Then he pulled his shoe out. Yeah, these it right here.
We need a pair of Sit to Podcast P. Hey, I'm always asking for stuff. It's wish list season. Go ahead, P.
We team Nike over here. We team Nike over here.
Oh, he a yeeter. He a yeeter, but I ain't. So yeah, send him to me in Dallas. So
but no, man, I think you see every bit of growth, like just in his confidence. I think we saw what he is from a scoring and explosive standpoint, but I think you just see him just oozing with confidence now.
How much of on that same note, like from a conditioning standpoint, and I want to tie it back to some of the comments that James said, because, there's been a lot of criticism, but when you played in the summer on that USA team, did you feel more in shape to start the season? You had to have, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're just ready to go.
You're ready to go. You've played high-level basketball a lot sooner than the rest of us playing for Team USA and playing on the international level. So you're conditioned. You're in a basketball rhythm a lot sooner. Your body is in a basketball rhythm a lot faster. So he didn't really need a ramp up into the season. Like, he was ready to hit the ground running soon as season started because he just came out of playing in the Olympics. So that definitely plays. I forgot even thinking about that. Like, that definitely plays a factor into it.
I'll be doing my homework.
Yeah. You're definitely doing your research.
Man, I got all these streaming apps and fitness programs. It's starting to get to a point where I can't even count them on one hand. Man, it's crazy.
Jackie, you want to hear something crazy? Did you know over 80% of people have subscriptions that they've forgotten about? Think about all the subscriptions you have that were never canceled.
That's why I'm a huge fan of Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills, all in one place.
With Rocket Money, you can easily cancel ones you don't want with just a click of a button. No more long hold times or annoying emails with customer service. Rocket Money does all the work for you.
Look, don't be like me, y'all. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscription and manage your money the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/podcastp. That's rocketmoney.com/podcastp. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Yo, it's getting closer to the end of the year, and things around this time can become a lot. Has the end of season blues ever prevented you from being able to enjoy your life or performing your best on the court?
No, it hasn't. I find peace around this time, especially during the holidays and being around family. So, no, it doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah, sometimes it could be a lot because I got Christmas, I got my anniversary, I got wifey's birthday, January. So sometimes it can be a lot, but, it's just important to get some good sleep and make sure you get your rest.
I like everything y'all both said. Look, one great way to make those racing thoughts go away is to talk them through. All right, therapy gives you a place to do that so you can get out of your negative thought cycles and find some mental and emotional peace so you can dominate on and off the court.
Therapy is all about deepening your self-awareness and understanding, because sometimes we don't know what we want or why we react the way we do until we talk things through.
It's helpful for learning positive coping skills and setting boundaries. It helps you become the best version of yourself.
Fellas, was it hard finding a therapist?
No, I actually just asked some recommendations for some friends, and they were able to find someone for me pretty quick.
Okay, what about you, P? You got any suggestions for people out there trying to find therapy?
If you're considering starting therapy, try BetterHelp. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/podcastp today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/podcastp. Hey, fellas, every man know how it can be when you get that razor below the belt. You know what I'm saying? So look, I need y'all to tell me what y'all like about using that Manscaped, huh?
For me, it's getting to the sensitive areas. Cleaning that up is a must for me, and I like to be smooth, if you know what I'm talking about.
I do. I'm smooth now, boy.
Yeah, I think it's all about being clean. I know we have some friends that use the same razor for their face as they do other body parts, and I just think it's disgusting. So it's all about just staying clean, and you gotta be right for the wifey.
No smell.
Yeah.
So fellas and gentlemen across the nation, I got a special urgent message for y'all. This episode is brought to y'all by Manscaped. Oh, we gonna all be clean for the rest of our life. I love this. So look, anyways, check this out, y'all. The brand that took your balls to space is now launching them into Ultra Spear.
Introducing Manscaped's 5th generation performance package featuring the all-new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Yep, 5.0. With new cutting-edge designs and next-generation skin-safe blade heads for different shaves. It's pretty much a spaceship to take your boys downstairs to the next level.
Inside this package, you'll find the star of the show, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Their 5th generation trimmer features 2 interchangeable next-gen skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires.
Come on, man. You know y'all couldn't forget. Talk about the damn weed whacker it got. They got the new weed whacker, the 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer. Look, Crop Preserve Ball Deodorant. Smelling good down there, too, lately. I ain't gonna even lie. Crop Soother Toner. Everything's smooth. And look, don't forget the 2 free gifts they got.
Join the 9 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the new Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code PODCASTP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code PODCASTP at manscaped.com. Your balls have been through enough. It's time to go Ultra with Manscaped.
So we talked about Tyrese and Anthony Edwards, and these guys, if not already, are on their way to be superstars in the league. And so if you had to provide 5 traits on what would make a perimeter superstar in the league, being one, what would you say are those 5 traits that you're looking for in a guy where you're going, okay, this guy can be a superstar perimeter player?
Yeah, for me, and shout out Tyrese as well. Tyrese has been
32 assists,
no turnovers.
in 2
and
games.
He did that last year.
I've never seen somebody in the NBA have 17 assists and 0 turnovers.
Just look at their scoring. Offensively, Pacers has been rolling. Like they're scoring like 120, 130, like 140. They're scoring high numbers.
I gotta watch. Who's he passing to? Like who else is on that team that's knocking down shots for him?
Soldiers.
Miles Turner, Buddy Hield,
shooter,
Mathurin. I mean, they got a young core that's just playing. Bruce Brown, like they got a young core that's playing fast.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Obi
Tyrese playing fast too.
Yeah,
I've been watching this game.
Yeah, no, they're fun to watch. They've been fun to watch because of him. But
my bad, I cut you off. 5 traits.
My 5 traits. I think for me, what put guys on that superstar level. One is the charisma, right? Like I think Anthony Edwards and Tyrese are both likable guys. They command attention. And they're great when the spotlight is on them. You know what I mean? So I think that's one, when becoming a superstar and this is all of this is aside from what you do on the court. Obviously, you can't be a superstar if you're not producing. Like this is them producing, them, being special on the court. But what goes into that, the mentality and the makeup behind all of that, for one is charisma. 2 is that I think that will to win. And I think both of them have that desire to win. Anthony Edwards wants to be the best on the floor. He takes that challenge offensively and defensively. I loved watching them against that Celtics game. Jason Tatum calls Anthony Edwards up for the ISO. Anthony Edwards gets the stop, gets the steal, comes down, gets a bucket. Like, and the comment behind that was like, I don't know why he called me up. Like, I like playing defense. Like,
I love Anthony.
So that desire to win, that will to win, I think is one of those characteristics. Flip side of that is not being afraid to fail. Like, you see that in, like, that's what separates stars from superstars, like role players from superstars. Some guys might be gun shy or scared to turn the ball over or afraid to take that last shot because of the ramifications behind it. I think those 2 guys aren't afraid of that spotlight. And if they fail, they fail. It's on me. But I'm willing to take that risk. And I think both of those carry that. Both of those guys carry that. 4 is work ethic. Like, those guys aren't where they're at without the work that they put in.
Yep.
Probably the first, because you don't become who you are without putting that time in. And 5th, I would say consistency. I think consistency And consistently, we've been seeing Anthony Edwards get better, Tyrese Haliburton get better.
Better and better.
You know what you're going to get out of those two when they step on the floor. You know what you're going to get when that ball is tipped up. Anthony Edwards is just relentless on both ends. He's going to play hard. He's going to, take the challenge. Like what I love too is he wants to guard the best player as well, and he wants to be the number one option. And then Tyrese, he's going to dissect the team. You know, he's no slouch on defense either. He's going to take the challenge defensively and guard, the best point guard or guard the perimeter guy. But he's just, he's consistent with making his teammates better. So I think that's the five core for me of what makes superstars so special and what those two guys in particular traits that I see in both of them.
Where did Tyrese get
that was
jump?
awesome. That was beautiful.
Thank you for that breakdown.
That was
beautiful.
That was a great answer.
Hey, thank you.
Where did Tyrese get that jump shot from? And it's going in every time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I saw like him when he was like, 12, 13, like his like AAU days way back. He's still at that same shot.
That jump shot is
Bro, he had a hook shot that was nice. He's got a lot of like.
I think shout out to him for not, because I'm sure
changing.
He hasn't. I'm sure there was.
I'm glad
when you get in the league, you're not gonna be able to do this anymore.
I'm sure there was coaches like lined up every step that or every level he's been at that was like, hey son, you might want to tuck the elbow, maybe get the ball, maybe jump a little bit on your jump shots. Like I'm sure there was like so much going into his like mechanics of people trying to change it, and him just being like, nah, this is how I shoot. Like it works.
It worked.
Good thing he did
definitely working.
Great thing he did it. Because he's a scorer, man. He could shoot it.
Shout out to Tyrese. But check it out, y'all. Before we wrap, y'all already know what it is. It's time for the favorite segment of the show. What's it called, PG?
Rated PG.
What's it called, Dallas?
Rated PG, Jackie.
Come on, y'all already know. That's where PG takes a young player and he compares him to an old school vet or somebody that's playing today, and he just let us know who it is. So, PG, who you got for us today, baby?
This young guy I think is a dark horse and hasn't really been talked about in this whole rookie race. Obviously, with Chet and Wemby being the top two guys, but this kid has found his game. He's found his rhythm. He's found his home, and I've been a fan of him ever since he was training at Proactive this summer.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna go with Jordan Hawkins, shooting guard, plays for the New Orleans Pelicans. Really good player, really good kid. Shoot the shit out of it. He's got like the Michael Redd, like young Ray Allen.
Michael Redd, I like that.
Just sharpshooter. Like he's a sharpshooter. Like he can shoot the hell out of it. He's a scorer. He's been a scorer when he was at UConn. Big scorer coming out of college. So y'all pay attention to Jordan Hawkins. Shout out Pops too. I keep in touch with his pops from time to time.
Jordan Hawkins.
Good dude, great family. He's gonna be a good one.
So he the one.
New Orleans got a good.
Check him out.
Said he play
shooting guard.
Shooting guard.
Was he getting
starting? Yeah,
getting burned.
Especially with McCollum going down.
That's
also he started
now too. They started
good.
the youngin. Yeah. Hey guys, it's a wrap on this episode. We appreciate.
We gotta leave.
We gotta go. We gotta get the hell up out of here.
I want to ask you some more questions, man.
You got some. What we just save it for next week?
Save it next week, Pete.
There you is. Hey, appreciate y'all. Shout out another great episode, and we out.
Hey.